Hey guys! So I was just looking through my camera to see when I last vlogged, and that was on the 20th. I had a very big paper due yesterday, and so I've been really focused on that and school. I hope I can do this. So I've gotten everything ready to move the cats, and I've been sort of prolonging putting the deposit down with the moving company. One, because I just don't feel like I have enough details about what's gonna happen. I mean, it could go horribly wrong. People's pets die when they travel, and so I just want like every detail figured out. And let's just do a full recap from the 20th. So I got a call from my apartment complex. They have someone that wants to rent my apartment, so I was able to feel good again and move forward with everything. So that's great. I took my I took my Sphinx to the vet so that he could get all his shots updated and get the rabies certification and their vaccine history, so I could give that to the moving company. And I've been in contact with Air Animal, and you know, I give kudos to this woman, Jessica, who's been working with me since like September, because I'm just like changing every time I talk to her. I'm like, okay, I want something different, and she's very accommodating, and I feel bad for her. But I mentioned before that leaving from Tucson would cost an extra $1,000. And so she recommended that if I could leave from LA, it would save me $1,000. So I would planned to me and the cats all leave from LA. So I called my travel agency to change my flight, because I go from Tucson to LA, LA to Hong Kong, Hong Kong to Chiang Mai. So it's already a leg in my journey. So I figured, what's the big deal? I just don't get on the Tucson to LA leg. It's only like 45-minute flight anyways. So I call them, and at first they're like, yeah, it's fine. And then they're like, well, then we have to change it. Call your airline. So I called the airline. They're like, no, you have to pay $100 change fee. I call my travel agency back, and they're like, actually, we have to cancel it, so you pay our cancellation fee, their cancellation fee, and you'd have to repurchase a whole new ticket. And so I was like, okay, let me think about this, because I would lose like over $300 if I did this, because all of the flight prices have gone up since I bought my ticket. So I told them, just leave it, I'll figure it out. And so I figured out that I was going to rent a car on the 29th of December, drive my cats to LA, and then drive back to Tucson so I can fly out of Tucson to LA. And that would still be saving me over $1,000. So yeah, it's a hassle, but I'm okay with doing it. Luckily, I was able to focus on school this past weekend, because for the past couple months, this whole travel thing has been at the forefront of my mind, and I've been unable to push it aside so I can focus on school. I was able to do that this weekend, but Sunday night, it all started coming back. So like I got like all the paperwork, let me see if I have it. Okay, so anyone who's interested, the company I chose is Air Animal. They have great reviews. They're part of IPATA, which is the International Pet something, or it's IATA, International. I have no idea what it stands for, but it's like a BBB for pet travel services. So they're a part of that. So Jessica sent me all the paperwork for them to get all the details, like their flight, boarding, all of that. I can't show you because I've already filled most of it out, but the first one is a pet owner survey, and then there's the credit card authorization, and then there's a pet survey, and then they want vaccine history, rabies certificate, microchip numbers, pictures of the cats, pictures of the cats next to their the air kennels, and I think that's it. So they need all of that to sort of get the process rolling. And of course, so I was quoted at like $4,500, and I'd have to put down a 50% deposit, you know, like $2,100. And so that's the point I've been at since, I don't know, Friday last week. I realized that I obviously want the cats to get to Chiang Mai after me. I feel like boarding them in the US before they leave would be easier than having them boarded in Thailand. I don't know, for some reason I just think that's a better idea. So I told her that, and so they're gonna board 3 days in Frankfurt, Germany, which is one of the 2 places that you want your pets to go through. If you're going internationally, there's only 2 places where they actually let your pet out of the kennel and rest and go to the bathroom and relax. And so it'd be a 3-day board in Frankfurt to assure that they get to Thailand after me. And so the last email I sent Jessica, because I'm still putting off paying the money, was, okay, so I'm gonna bring them to LA. Where do I drop them off? And I haven't heard back to her because I think it was the weekend. I think I sent it on Saturday maybe. So after I finished my paper, I'm like realizing that I'm running out of time to book their travel. You know, I've got a countdown on my calendar, and I think we're, you know, we're at under 40 days. Yeah, under 40 days until I leave. And they need 3 to 4 weeks to have enough time. So I'm like, this week I have to put down the deposit. And I did all the math, and I can do it. I can afford it, but it's literally almost all the money I have saved for my trip. And yeah, I get a monthly payment for my disability from the military, but it would be nice to have, because that money I had saved would pay for like an entire half a year's rent in Thailand, and then some. So I'm back at the dilemma of, do I take the cats with me? In my mind, it was always yes if I could afford it. Yes, I can afford it, but it will make things difficult. And then what if I have to leave them in Thailand? I feel like that would be worse than trying to find a home for him here. And I've also been in contact with like 3 or 4 real estate agencies in Thailand trying to find a house to rent. And it's very difficult to find somewhere that will take cats, or pets for that matter. I'm trying to make the best decision, and in my what pet to give away vlog, I mentioned that the decision I'm making to bring them with me is a very selfish one, and I still completely agree with that, because I want them there for my own well-being. I had a chat with a friend that I met this past summer in Thailand as part of the Raw Till 4 Fruit Festival, and we've kept in contact. And he has a dog, and he was planning on moving to Thailand and was initially planning to give away his dog, and so I was like, you know, wouldn't that be tough? But he's not actually doing that. He still gets to come back. He still gets to go back to his home with his dog still there. So a little bit of a different situation. To not go into too much detail, because nobody likes to talk about it or listen to it, I've had depression all my life. And since I went vegan, I stopped taking my antidepressants, which I promised myself I would not do 3 years ago, after I had a very, very, very bad year in 2011, 2012. I still have a worry in the back of my mind that I'm gonna go through a cycle. My depression, it goes through cycles. As I've gotten older, there's more time in between them, but they're worse when I go through them. I'm worried that if I go to Thailand without my cats, it will trigger a cycle. There's an argument that thinking this way will make it happen. There's also another argument that I do have this disease and it's very possible that that will trigger it, whether I want it to or not. Going to this new country alone was gonna be made much easier on me, mentally and emotionally, to have my cats with me. But if I think about what's best for them and ultimately what's best for me, bringing them with me is just not a good idea. Talking with my friend the other day, voicing everything out loud, and he's like validating how I feel, but yet I realize what the best thing to do is. This is not easy to do. I'm accepting the fact that bringing them to Thailand is not the most ideal situation. So I emailed the breeder I got my Sphinx from, because I think in actually both of their contracts, if you have to rehome them, you're supposed to contact the breeder. But the breeder I got my ragdoll from was a crazy person, and he's in California, so not doing that. But I figured the breeder I got my Sphinx from is here in Tucson, and maybe she could at least spread the word that I'm rehoming them. So I sent her an email yesterday. Within an hour, she emailed me back saying that she already knew of someone that would want Kevin and got me in contact with this woman, Josie. They already have a Sphinx and they want another one to keep him company, and so they're coming on Thanksgiving with their cat to meet Kevin. And they've also graciously offered to take Violet as well. Before they offered to take Violet, I was thinking maybe I would take her with me, because I've had her for so long. But then they offered, and I mean, they sound like great people. She's older and, you know, crazy cat lady, I can tell. And I'm not making it easy for them. They wanted to just come on the 29th and just take both of them. I'm not okay with that. I want to meet her. I want to talk with them more. I want them to meet my cats, you know? What if something doesn't work out? What if they don't like something? That's not enough time before I leave to figure that out. So I told her no, I can't do that, but we could probably try and work something out. So she's being very flexible, working around me being difficult. So she's still gonna come on Thursday. And then I already booked a rental car on the 29th because I was originally gonna drive them to LA. And so maybe I'll just use that and drive them to Phoenix, which is where she lives, which makes things more difficult because she's not in Tucson. Hi, baby. I hope I can let myself be happy, I guess, with them not around. I feel like I've gone through all the options. Finding someone to temporarily watch them, I can't do because I don't know when I'm coming back. You know, it could be over a year, and then that's kind of a ridiculous request of someone. I don't have any family that would take them. Even if money was absolutely not an issue, would it still be the best idea to bring them with me? I wanted really badly to do this vlog without crying, and I apologize. But I know that there are other people who feel the same way, gone through the same thing. It all just happened really fast. I mean, within a day of making the decision of not bringing them, I already found a home for them. I'm trying to think of something that I can end on that's a good thing. My friend Mike might come to Thailand. I'll believe it when it happens because everyone I talk to says, oh, I'm gonna come visit you in Thailand. And you know nobody is. He's pretty dead set on it. And that gets me really excited because he's one of my favorite people. Life is tough, especially when you're a crazy cat lady. Alright, this is too much, I'm sorry, but now you're updated. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. I just had to show you how tidy, well, not there, but everywhere else. Look how clean it is mostly. Hi. 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 Vacuumed and moved things. Look at how clean it is. Now I just have to clean this giant mess. Oh God, don't look at it. Hi. 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 It's so clean. Yay. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, bye.